Welcome back to the Brunch Beauty Life podcast. I'm your host, Connie, the Inspiring Stylist.
And I'm Ashley, naturally Ashley Rowe.
Make sure you like, subscribe, follow, and share down below.
And also don't forget to send us your emails. We still love receiving them.
Absolutely.
And we will use them for topics for the show. So don't stop sending those emails.
All right. So are we ready to dive in?
Yeah, we're ready to dive in.
Okay, what are we talking about?
Today we are talking about being in the loop.
In the loop.
Which is also in the know.
In the know.
So,
in case you don't know, and now you about to know.
Yes. And that also applies to business, which we'll start off with first, and then also with life and relationships, which I have none. But
yet.
It's by choice. I'm intentionally single. So for the business part,
okay,
what does that look like, Connie, boss extraordinaire, to be in the loop and in the know?
Exactly what it is. It's in the know what's going on. Know what's going on. In my case, I have a business partner. I need to know what's going on with her. I need to know what's going on with the stylist, right? I just think personally when we're in the loop and we know what's going on, we operate better, right?
Yeah.
I think in this industry, stylists, hormones. Take a lot of stuff personal these days. Don't take it personal.
Absolutely.
But they take a lot of things personal. And really, what this stylist may have going on may not have nothing to do with you. But, her demeanor and what she's delivering, how you're receiving it, it makes you kind of feel like, dang, well, what'd I do to her,
Yeah.
And sometimes I think in just knowing what may be going on with a person can just kind of alleviate some of that stuff, some of the drama, some of the nonsense or whatnot. Not to say you got to tell somebody every single thing, because that's not what, we're saying, but at least let people know what's going on so then people can come to a situation with a better understanding.
Yeah, so I think a lot of times, especially in business, people do a lot of assuming.
Absolutely.
And they assume and they, for whatever reason, do not try to fact check and clarify before they run with their assumptions. So being in the know is definitely important between, an owner and a manager and their team, but also for just in general, what's going on with that person. Because, we're all human. So things can happen that day or things can be going on behind the scenes. So then I know now to treat you a little bit more delicate. Let's say that you have something going on with your family. Right. And of course, it's hard for anyone to work when you're concerned and you're stressed and you're worried about your family and things like that. So it kind of makes you a little bit more withdrawn or you're just trying to get through. We need to know that so that we can know how to be ready to activate for you, whether it be treating you a certain way or making sure that you're taken care of or making sure that we're prepared for your books to be taken care of. Because let's say it's someone that's ill in your family, then we need to kind of know that because have a game plan for the event that if you need to go home or you need to travel to go and see your family, we need to be in the know and in the loop of that so that we can better assist you and help you because, family is family.
And sometimes it's about support too.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, because, when you, depending on where you're at in your journey, right, and especially I think a lot of stylists or even barbers come into this industry with lack of support. This industry is looked at like a side hustle, right? It's not a real job, right? You're quitting your 9-to-5 to go do that. That don't pay no bills.
Definitely heard that more than once.
So sometimes, you may not have anybody in your corner that can see your vision as far as what you're trying to do. And yeah, when you first come into this industry and you're not making that type of money and, you got bills, kids, whatever to take care of, it could be a little bit stressful. But you see your vision, you hold it high, and it's just a temporary time frame. But to not have the support over there and that negativity just chopping away in your ear to come into the salon and amongst your peers or at least your bosses or whatnot, and just be able to communicate that with them. Sometimes we will be your biggest support system because we've been through it. Yeah. We know the struggle. We've overcome the struggle. Went back into the struggle and then overcame the struggle again, because it's it's up and down. It's continuous.
It's constantly turning that right back around.
Yeah, so sometimes just being in the loop, you could get that support. It's not about. Well, I guess you can say you got to be a little bit vulnerable.
Oh, absolutely.
A little open-minded. I think in my partnership, we definitely keep each other in the loop, because there's a lot that we got going on just in general. And sometimes you just need a mental checkout. I mean, for real, my father recently just passed away. And
sorry to hear that,
thank
everyone.
you. And so when he passed away, I sent a message, and, I was checked out for a couple of weeks. I came back the following week, but mentally I was just checked out. It was just everything's just running like a blur. Like, I ain't opening no bills. I ain't checking no mail. Yeah. Mentally I just wasn't there. So, I'm appreciative to, have my circle know, hey, this is what's going on with me, because, outside of me sending my clients a text message, my team came together to say, okay, what's on her books? Let me help these clients, figure it out, to see if they want to wait for her to come back, or let me go ahead and get you accommodated. So when I came back to work, I wasn't stressed. Yes. Oh my God, what I'm going to do with all these weeks worth of people that I had to, cancel out. So being in the loop, that's important, and then those strengths and weaknesses, and you just kind of learn how to move with the groove.
Yes. And I love being in the know with you guys, as well as with even my manager at my salon, Sasha. We have a good rapport and communication with each other. So it's nothing for me to call her and be like, oh, hey girl, check into this, and the third, or I need some help with this. Again, it's being vulnerable, because as an owner, sometimes I think a lot of times people don't look at us as being, having weak points, or having bad days, or needing help, but definitely need help. And I'm also someone that does struggle with asking for help sometimes. So it's good to be able to have someone to be in the know with and be like, hey, this is what's going on. I need some help here, or, or even them being like, hey, how can I help you? And if you don't put that out there, then no one knows to be able to help you. Also, in the same right, I let you guys know what's going on. I was like, hey, I'm looking for some new stylists. If you see anything or hear anything out there while you're looking as well, let me know how we can collaborate and have great pools and network with each other. But I'm keeping you in the know. And I don't necessarily have to,
so
it's my business,
but get resources from letting people know what you got going on, or what you're looking for, or what you need. That person might be a resource for you.
Yes. And then also I talked to Tiga about it, because if y'all had someone that y'all needed more training or anything like that, and I'm like, okay, my place is open for that, and I have the space for that, and I have the opportunity to help you guys. So it's good to be in the know with each other.
Collaborate.
To foster collaboration, not competition. We're not competing against each other, right. But we're continuing to collaborate to better each other in our network and our circles. So I like being in the know in business.
So what happens when you're not in the know? What does that look like in business? When you're just not in the know. What, does that create a better working environment? Does it create a chaotic working environment?
It creates a chaotic working environment, because I cannot help anything that I don't know about. I can't fix anything that I don't know about. So it's kind of hard when you do have people who don't want to keep you in the know, because then I don't like to assume. I don't do that. I'm not going to assume it's all good. If I already see and notice different ways about you, of how you're moving differently than who I've known before, then I'm going to want to be like, what's going on? What is the deal? What is the problem? What is the concern? But if you're not keeping me in the know, then how am I supposed to know? If something bothers you, that is going on in the salon, I need to know that.
Right. Even if it's something
If
that
it's something
I may have
that
done.
I'm doing, I need to know that. Or even something that you're doing that maybe like grinds my gears. And I'm pretty direct, sometimes to a fault that I am direct. So like I said, I don't assume, I'm going to ask. But I need that person to also come to the table being ready to share and to keep me in the know.
Yeah, so
because you
talk
can't
about
fix anything that you don't know about.
Right. Yeah, that's the world of shoulds and assumptions. You assume things and then they should know. And I see that so often, and it's like, no, you can't assume, and you can't think that someone should know what it is that they're doing to piss you off or irritate you or whatever the case may be. How would they know? Now, once you bring it to their attention, like, hey, blah, 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 when you do X, Y, Z, da, 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 that kind of bothers me. Now they know. You see?
They're doing it.
Now they know. And then from that moment on, if they keep on doing it, now they know. Because you've communicated that, you put them in the loop. So now they know.
Well, I also feel that in that experience as well, you need to give a little time period of grace. Because if that's something that's their regular thing of how they're doing, it's going to take some time to correct the behavior.
Yeah, it's not necessarily going to be overnight.
So you can't be like, I let her know, and the next day she did it right then again. Because it takes some time to change a habit that you already have. So you have to also extend grace to know that it's not going to change instantly. But I also feel that when you assume, I don't see a lot of people assuming for the best. The assumption is always for the worst. And I feel like you're basically assassinating the character of that person because you're assuming in the worst. Like when it comes to business, I don't come to business with you guys with the assumption that y'all about to screw me over, y'all about to do me wrong. I come with the best of assumptions because of how you treated me. You've been fair. But I feel that sometimes people, when in their lens of how they're looking at us as business owners, I believe in their lens, they think of us as being successful, and we're successful off of others. And their assumption is that, oh, well, she don't care because she's trying to get money from me, especially with commission. And
that is so not the case.
And it's not the case. But it's that assumption that they already have. So I feel like when I do face things like that, I get to see what your assumption of me is. Because if you're not keeping me in the loop and you're not trying to talk to me about problems and you're trying to not do anything, I already see what you view me as. And it's not in a positive, it's in a negative.
Got it. Interesting. Okay. Yeah. So what about in relationships? Life, personal, friendships, or serious relationships, things of the past, things of the present, things of to come.
Relationships, you should be in the know. I feel that there are many problems that happen because you are not in the know. We are all not mind readers. We were not born with that skill. We can definitely be very intuitive and perceptive. Women's intuition never fails. But we don't know everything, and where I feel, and please do not come for me, the men delegation.
What do you mean, men delegation?
The male delegation, how they just, it's the lack of communication that drives me crazy.
Or women crazy.
Yes, I'm speaking from my experience. The lack of communication of keeping things in the know. So, for example, I was getting to know this young man, and we were supposed to go to brunch on a Sunday.
Okay,
so
Sunday
we know
brunch
is about 11,
12
ish. Brunch Beauty Life podcast as we come out on 12 on Sundays. But we were supposed to go out to brunch. So that morning, I have not heard from him at all. Now, I don't ask myself out on dates. I'm not calling him to verify. He should have already verified and confirmed the date with me. I didn't hear from him. I figured date was off. He calls me later on in the day, about was like 5 o'clock. Mm-hmm. And was like, oh, hey, what you do today? How was your day? We know I'm instantly
Chihuahua.
pissed. Instantly pissed, but I'm trying to play it cool. Mm-hmm. And so I'm like, well, we were supposed to go to brunch today. And he was like, well, I wasn't feeling good. I have this and that going on. And all the things that he is telling me are flu-like symptoms. Mm-hmm. He has a very justifiable reason of why we are not to go on this date today. Mm-hmm. I was like, well, why didn't you call me? Well, I know how you feel about being consistent. I know how you feel about that. And I didn't want to cancel the date and be inconsistent.
But then the date get canceled?
And you did not say anything to me. And I didn't want you to get mad. No, you did not keep me in the loop. You did not keep me in the know. Mm-hmm. Because actually, keeping me in the know would have been confirming the date on Friday or Saturday. Mm-hmm. To say, hey, we are going XYZ at this time. Does this work for you? He had not done that. He had not kept me in the know. So I already did not plan to go anywhere. And, I would have understood. I told him, if you had communicated to me that you were feeling this way, well, the flu-like symptoms, I wasn't going to go over there. But if he was not feeling good, I would have been like, do you need anything? Mm-hmm. Is there something I can send to you? Do you need company? Like, are you okay? Do you need anything? And he was like, oh, I didn't think that was going to be the response. Because he assumed. Mm-hmm. But did not keep me in the know.
But in addition to that, you think about, okay, we're going out on this date today, probably around this time frame, no confirmation or nothing like that. To hear from somebody at 5 o'clock, you're already pissed off. You probably done went through a whole series of like, okay, is this person okay? What's going on? Did they stand me up? Whatever, right? How the overthinking or whatnot.
I wasn't thinking now that.
But I'm just saying, at 5 o'clock, you're going to be pissed. Whereas if you had knew that, even if it had been first thing in the morning, like, listen, I haven't been feeling well. I've been trying to shake it off, but I'm sick, right? You would have been cool. It wouldn't have been no big deal. It would have been like, okay, you know what? Totally, I understand, because I ain't trying to get sick either.
Exactly. And we don't know what it is. It could have been the flu. It could have been COVID. Any of those things. Mm-hmm. So I was cool. Mm-hmm. But you didn't keep me in the know. You didn't keep me in the loop. And you assumed the worst about me before even checking to see if that was what I was going to give.
Yeah, I think in relationships, I think it's good for, both people to be in the know. The man needs to be in the know of his woman, and the woman needs to be in the know of her man.
Or significant other.
They,
them, they, she,
yes.
all this.
Everything.
All the pronouns.
Whoever you're dealing with need to be in the know, right? And when I say in the know, I'm not saying, oh, you got to like check in. I'm going here. Oh, okay. I'm leaving here. I'm going here. Oh, okay. This is what's next. That's excessive. We not doing that. We are asking.
But if that's what you do, that's fine.
Yeah. If that's what you
feel
do.
Okay about that, I call it stalking. But if that's how you feel, that's fine.
If you just that type to give out that type of information or that much information, cool. Keep doing what you're doing. But I think a woman that has a general scope of being in the know when it comes to her man or woman or whatnot, whoever you're dealing with, I think it kind of settles the spirit. It kind of makes you more comfortable, right? It makes you more secure. So yes. Comfortable, security, safety, the things that us women desire.
Consistency,
yes.
excuse me. Yes, because we notice when you're not being consistent as well. I feel like that's the major thing that throws the overthinking and the overanalyzing into high gear. Mm-hmm. Because if you're operating in a way that has not been consistent to who you are, then of course it's going to cause a spiral. Like if you're, you haven't heard from him in a day or two, and now you're going down a spiral. Is he mad at me? Did I do something? Is this and that? Is it with someone else? Because they have not kept you in the know. When it all actually could be is that you've been having a rough couple of days, maybe even at work, and trying to figure out what your next steps are. Like, do you want to stay there or anything like that? And you just needed some time to clear your head, but you didn't keep that person in the know. Mm-hmm. So now they are going down a spiral that they can only go down by themselves because they have not talked to you.
Yes.
So it's important to be in the know, and which is not stalking.
Yeah, it's not stalking. It's just common courtesy. I guess common isn't common, but common courtesy. Just
Ain't nothing common these days.
Yeah, ain't nothing common these days. But no, just giving the person grace, right? Just giving them that respect. If I'm dealing with someone, I may not tell you every single thing that I'm doing throughout the day, because I don't really find that to be too necessary, right? But if we talk and you ask me questions like, oh, what do you got going on, or whatever, I'll be open, like, oh, well, this is what I got going on, or this is what I've done, or blah, 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 or these are my intentions for the day. I'm not vague with it. I think when you're vague with things, you leave question marks open.
Yes.
And then, like you just said, when your routine is off, things are looking a little inconsistency, you try not to think about those assumptions for the worst, right?
Yes.
But they do come. They do come when you don't know. Yeah. Again, it's all about, I saw, it's one of the people that rock with Ace Metaphor. It's the other guy. I can't think of his name. But, he was just saying the same thing. He was like, something about a man could be driving and a woman's in the car. She want to see the GPS, not that she don't, trust him with where he's going, but she still would like to see the GPS. She still want to see like the plan of action. You know what I'm saying? And something about that is comforting to her versus just like getting in the car. And then it's like, well, where are we going? Well, what you doing? Why are you turning here? And some people might could just sit back and relax and enjoy the ride.
Are you one of those people?
That can sit back and relax and enjoy the ride? Mm-hmm. To some degree. I can. If we're talking about literally being in the car and you driving, I'm gonna be curious, of course. I mean, curiosity, you always kind of want to know, like, ooh, what are we doing? Where are we going, right? But I can sit back and relax if I trust you.
I'm not that person.
So you need to see the GPS.
I need to see the GPS.
She's like, nah, I ain't that.
I need to see the GPS as well. I even look at it when I'm in a lift. I'm watching them on the little lift app.
Wait a minute. The lift says turn right. You kept straight. Oh, this is a faster way.
I share my lifts too. Mm-hmm. I share with a friend so that they know where I'm at. But yeah, I need to see the directions. I need to see where we're going. And that translates in all different ways of being in the know. I feel like with your partners, you should be in the know about everything. So that even includes finances. Because if the finances change, that's liable for people to change their whole spirit, attitude, everything. Mm-hmm. And that can change the whole dynamic of your relationship. Mm-hmm. Things need to be clear and told to each other and communicate.
So that's having adulting conversations.
Absolutely. But you shouldn't be trying to get in a relationship if you're not ready to be an adult.
Okay.
What they say on ATL is grown folks business. It's grown folks business. Mm-hmm. You should not be dating people if you're not able to effectively communicate.
Mm-hmm. Or have them serious conversations, hard conversations.
Yeah. And I believe that's in friendships too. Mm-hmm. I like to be in the know with my friends. Mm-hmm. And like I said, I'm direct. So another example, one of my good friends, I hadn't heard from her since I think like before Christmas. Mm-hmm. And New Year's it came, Founders Day came. I'm AKA I hadn't heard from her. I didn't get no New Year's text. I didn't get no Founders Day text. I'm like, well, wait a minute. I hadn't heard from her. So you know what I did? I called her. Mm-hmm. I was like, hey girl, what's going on? Mm-hmm. I ain't get no New Year's text. I ain't get no Founders Day text. I finally get a text from you, so I know that we good. But where have you been? Mm-hmm.
And like let me ask, song, before that,
where have you been?
So before that, the communication was different.
Well, we communicate sporadically. Anyway, okay. She lives in Texas, and she has kids and all that, you know, and I'm busy doing all this work. We're life, and we're great friends, but we know how to understand life. But I just know I normally would get those messages from her. Mm-hmm. And I called her. I was like, what is going on? What's up? And she was like, girl, it's just been a lot around here. I didn't send that to nobody. Mm-hmm. And I was like, well, I ain't talking about all them. I'm not a nobody. I'm somebody.
I am.
to you. And she was like, you're right. No, I'm good. So, but I checked in. I didn't assume or be like, oh, well, why she ain't talking to me? She's mad. I shouldn't be talking to her either. I'm like, no, I'm going to go pull up. And pull up means a phone call because I'm not pulling up to Texas. But,
I ain't pulling up. I ain't catching no flight. But I'm gonna call you.
She's a friend, so I want to continue to be in the know. I need to know, good girlfriend, are you okay? Mm-hmm. Are we okay?
What they say, check on your strong friends because sometimes they are not okay.
They aren't. I'm the strong friend, and I'm not okay. Mm-hmm. As we saw earlier, y'all ain't get that footage, but
I said, they don't know. They didn't see the beforehand. Listen, y'all. Side note. We're going to have like a Brunch Beauty Life Raw podcast or something like that because y'all got to see her before the cameras start rolling. It'd be like a event box. Maybe we need to title it different.
Yeah, we'll call it event box. And it won't be edited.
Raw, unfiltered,
real raw,
uncensored. So,
real life raw.
So if you're not prepared for that,
don't watch.
Y'all gonna watch because y'all want to hear it. Want to hear it. But okay. I just had to,
I like that side.
Go a little sidebar for a second. But yeah, so being in the loop is important. It's not about keeping tabs or, making someone feel like trapped or like they can't, move around freely. It's just about letting your partner know what's going on, even if something is going on hard for you. So for example, like I said, my father passed away. I don't know how I'm gonna feel come next year Christmas time when that's like his death date year, and so but if I'm dealing with someone like let's say I'm in a relationship with someone and they don't know that, and then that time of the year comes and let's say I'm just whatever, how would they know, unless I told them? So sometimes preparation, you might have to tell a person like, around this time of the year, this is what happened. And I usually still kind of get emotional. I might like to, be to myself, or I like to go do this, or I like to go do that. I'm not stopping you from you being who you are. Be who you are. Yeah. I don't want to, change you. It's not about, I have to change to, keep my person in the loop. No, but you do have to compromise a little bit, because when you are single, you move a certain way. Yes. And
as
that's
a solitary person.
As one. One numero
person.
Uno, right? And so when you get to being, like when you're used to that, and then you add in the other person, so 1 + 1. Now we got 2, right? Mm-hmm. It's 2 different people. Y'all have to come together and you have to figure things out. So the way you may have moved solo might not work now that it's another person. And you have to take that into consideration, that you may have to bend a little bit.
And I'll also say with being in the loop, to try and think more of the best in people. Mm-hmm. If you're constantly thinking in the worst of them, then why are you with them?
Yeah, true that.
But think about the best in the person, the best case scenario, instead of jumping to the worst case.
You're so optimistic.
I am. I feel like the people in my life, you're in my life because I think the most of you and I think the best of you. I'm not ready to gun you down until you show me.
Ooh. Say it again.
Why you should get gunned down.
Say it again. Repeat. Rewind.
Oh, which part? I'm good until you show me why I should bop, bop, shoot you down, bang, bang. But before then, I am thinking the best. So really keep that in mind when you're in relationships, be it in business, be it in friendships and personal, that you should be thinking the best in that person. Mm-hmm. So it's not hard to be vulnerable to keep that person in the know.
Keep them in the know.
Because that's what's missing is the vulnerability piece. Mm-hmm. To be open and allowing yourself to be open to that person. And I think it's because we're all really scared to be hurt. Mm-hmm. But you don't know what's on the other side until you are vulnerable.
Preach.
So, be open and keep people that you love and hold dear in the know, in the loop, because you never know what's on the other side, which is probably help, assistance, support, love, care, encouragement. Keep those thoughts at the forefront.
Agree. Until next time.
All right. Bye, y'all. I'm about to go pop off in a little bit. Again.
Pop off and then pop back. Make sure you like, subscribe, follow, share Brunch Beauty Life Podcast.
Till the next one.
Deuce.